Are you thinking about taking a long break from drawing and art? Is this gonna hurt you? Is this gonna help you? What will happen if you do this? I'm gonna tell you my experience with my break, and I'm also gonna tell you the experience of my students and what I saw in them. So it's good and it's bad. So let's get into it. Alrighty, we're going to talk about the value of a break when it comes to art and practicing art. Let's say you're driving yourself into the wall. What do you do? What is my advice on taking breaks, like let's say a few weeks or months in drawing development? I think there is a lot of value, but it depends. It's kind of interesting on why. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. If you are interested in kind of learning little kind of valuable tips in art, click that subscribe button. I'm going to be putting a lot more videos up. And also, if you do kind of like videos in this format or videos like this at all about art advice, please click that like button because it'll let me know what to put up more of in the future. So let me quickly talk about this. Let's get into it. So taking a break, I always talk about this. I was studying art. I started art when I was 18, and I really drove it hard into the wall. Like I didn't draw anything before that, and so I felt this responsibility to catch up to all these people that had been drawing since they were 5 years old. So what I did was I went all out. I practiced for 7 hours a day for like 2 years straight, maybe like a year and a half. And there was this point where I was getting better. I was going up this ladder very gradually, actually pretty quickly, to be honest, that first year. And then I hit this wall where I could not get out. I could not get out of this wall, and I didn't know why that was. I think maybe it was, well, honestly, now I know. It was obviously pressure I was putting on myself to get better, and a lot of kind of this kind of felt self-fulfilling prophecy, this kind of failure thing going on I had. I was never really good at anything up until then, which sounds terrible, but it's true. I didn't know how to develop a skill of any kind before that. Before that, it was like, what, soccer at school? You know, I mean, I had my regular classes. I was a C student. I did just the passable, you know, kind of thing. I never really excelled at anything. So drawing was the very first thing that I excelled at a lot, and it scared me in a way. It was very like, whoa, okay, this is like, I'm already better than most of my peers who are just dabbling in it. And so I was like, I don't know what it was. It was just like this internal thing that would just stop me, and I just could not get beyond a certain point. And no matter how hard I tried, and there was a point, and I always talk about this, I dumped a lot of hours in the beginning, which I think is extremely important for you to do. If you're a beginner, you want to dump as much time as possible, be a sponge, absorb everything for that first year. Like, really overdo it if you can. But if not, you know, just do as much as you can. And so what I noticed was after that period, maybe about a year and a half or so, I was dumping time into it, and it would not change. Nothing would change. It would not get better. And I didn't know why. Like I said, now I know, like I said, I was not having fun, which was literally what happened. At some point, my teacher, his name is Ron, he literally took me kind of aside, and he was like, hey man, we should talk. Look, you gotta start having fun. You are not having fun doing this stuff at all. And you are miserable. You're driving yourself horribly crazy doing this. And if you're not finding this stuff fun, every minute of this drawing is gonna be painful for you, which it had been up to that point. And I never forgot that. I never forgot that ever, for reals. Even now, I always think about it in these moments when I'm having a terrible time finishing, or like there's like a job I have to do, and I would just think like, wait, this is pretty fun. Like, I'm sitting here painting. I mean, this is really, really fun to do. A lot of people find this super enjoyable. Why am I finding this so hard, and why am I doing this to myself? So I don't think currently I would benefit from a break that much. Okay, let's talk more specifics, right, on the break issue. So about the 2-year mark, 3-year mark, I couldn't get by it. Even after Ron had told me that I needed a break, I couldn't really, it still wasn't, it was an internal kind of, I think what he didn't understand, I mean, he understood, of course, but it was a subconscious thing that was happening. And the only way I was going to get through it was this gradual, like, growing into that habit by kind of repeating to myself, kind of learning that, hey, this isn't that big of a deal. This should just be fun. So what I ended up doing was completely quitting. I think about a year after that, maybe in the 4th year, I quit for roughly, I forget how many months to a year. Didn't draw at all, like one bit. And I came back afterward because I couldn't think of anything else I wanted to do, honestly. I just couldn't think of anything else. And when I came back, I was much better. And I was like, what happened? I could not believe that happened. And I remember that too. I was in a class, and same teacher, Ron, he was, I think we were doing a portrait, and he was like, wow, you're way better than you used to be. What happened? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't drawn at all for months. And he's like, whatever you're doing, just, I don't know, like, keep doing it. I think what my explanation to that was I probably took the pressure off of myself at that point, and I was able to kind of take my ego out of it and just kind of do what I needed to do without this emotional baggage on me. That, or a lot of the information I was trying to cram and again over pressuring into my brain, it just somehow worked. It organized itself. I was thinking about it, and it just worked itself out in my brain. And I've actually seen that as well. I know on a different topic, it's not the same topic, but in a different way about that. With, like, if you're doing really terrible sometimes, let's say you've been doing really good for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden you're doing really bad, and you're just like, wow, this is terrible. And maybe a couple weeks later, you have this like huge breakthrough, and you level up. That's happened to me a lot, where I'm just having this massive amount of trouble, like, wow, this sucks, and I just level up like a few weeks later, with practice, of course. Has anyone ever experienced that? Can somebody tell me that? I don't know, because I've never heard anybody talk about that in any video. Has anyone literally experienced a time of hardship where you're like, you're going up this steady, incline, like this uphill, like it's going steady, your progress, and then it just starts to flatline, this plateau, correct? And this plateau lasts, and you try to push through it, but no matter what you're doing, you can't get by it. And then out of nowhere, it just seems like you level up. In general, you're just drawing everything a little bit better than you did before. Has anyone ever experienced that? If you're hearing that, let me know. That's kind of it. The whole time I showed you this drawing right here I was doing, I am kind of just working on it. I was trying to draw, Krampus for the holidays in this really awesome sketchbook I got. Pretty much, speaking of breaks, I missed I didn't upload the entire Christmas season, so trying to catch up with everybody. Although I was around, I did comment on people. So 2 things, I'm going to make 2 announcements. Well, first off, the question, right? That scenario I gave, have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced this kind of leveling up in your art skill? Whether it be a little bit or not, you just notice it's like, oh, okay, I'm better now, I can do that. How does that feel exactly? Like, is it something you're aware of? Like, you notice it when it happens? Or is it something where you have no clue it's going on? You just look back and like, whoa, okay, I am better. Like, how does it normally happen for you? That's the question in the comments. Please let me know, because when you guys tell me stuff, it really reflects on my experience, and it helps me as a teacher, and honestly, just as an artist, when you guys comment, and I value it a lot. So yeah, please comment right now if you anything pops in your head about that. And announcement-wise, there's 2 things. Number 1, I'm on Skillshare now. I'm putting entire courses on Skillshare. It's similar to the stuff on here, except it's bundled. There are newer videos that I recorded specifically for for Skillshare. So, for example, when I go over the eye, I draw the eye, but I make 7 videos entirely about different aspects of the eye. I go over the structure in one video. I go over the kind of vague, the small shading in one video, how the measurements are really important, stuff like that. And so that's within like a 7-video program. I'm on Skillshare. Go check that out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description about Skillshare. The way Skillshare works is you pay one price, and it is you can watch any videos you want for that one price on that whole site. It's kind of amazing, and I actually personally think that's the future. I think they're very quality based, where YouTube in general has become more entertainment based. So I'm on there a lot. I love it. The other one I'm on is Udemy. Udemy is another one. It's a learning site. It's also really good. I'm on that as well. Those are literally the exact same programs, by the way. So I'm telling you that here. So pick whichever one you want. Those are the same programs, Udemy. The ones I put on Skillshare, I put on Udemy as well. And same like programs that I'm putting on there. I'm gonna put one a week, and on different topics. I just kind of just started a month ago. And on Udemy, it's different. You have to pay by course, but in some ways it'll also be worth it as well. And there's different courses from other people on there. But go check that out as well. Udemy is also like a really gigantic site. Yeah, those two, I'm teaching on those two as well, like I said. So check those out in the description. Otherwise, you can always go to my main website, which I am upgrading and updating almost every day lately. I want to get that up and running and really make that a community itself. Other projects in terms of myself. Thank you for sticking around, by the way, this long. Oh my God, I'm just rambling about announcements. I'm back on Patreon. My Patreon's really small. I haven't put a lot into it, but I haven't put a lot into it, but I want to go back in there and do that. I've been a lot like kind of a homebody, so I really having fun drawing and painting lately on my own, and I've been meditating like crazy. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling. Thank you so much. Love all you guys, and as always, keep drawing and let me see your progress. If you want me to see your progress, message me on Facebook. I'll put that in the description too. Okay. All right. See you later, guys.